Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I haven't been on here in a minute. For some reason, every single year, like clockwork, I get into a slump in summertime. I literally am such a autumn, winter, spring reader. And so I feel like whenever it gets to summer, I just completely lose the urge to read. But I'm so excited for this video because I'm going to be doing a video with my friend JC. She's actually coming in to Asheville. Obviously, all of her links down below. She is literally the queen of vlogging. She also gives such amazing like summer energy. Like everything about her page and her vlogs are just like so California beachy summer, and I'm obsessed with that. A couple months ago, we literally, like, this is actually probably one of the crazier things I've done. Maybe not in my life, but like in general. A couple months ago, we were like, let's hang out. And she lives on the other side of the country than me. We just booked an Airbnb and said, let's do a 24-hour readathon. So that's what we're gonna be doing over on her channel. Go watch it. But part of the readathon that we're doing is I'm reading a book that she recommends to me. She's reading a book that I recommend to her. So we're gonna talk about our thoughts beforehand once she gets here. I think she's gonna be here in like 2 hours. I'm really excited. We're gonna talk about our thoughts before we read it, and then we're going to show our Airbnb. It's literally so cute, guys. It's so freaking cute. Guys, I got my first pumpkin candle, and I got this from Marshall's. I don't know exactly the smell. Looks like it says just pumpkin spice. It smells so good. Like my whole house now smells like pumpkin, and I'm obsessed with it.
I'll be good. It's a first world problem. I'll visit you a bunch. You can brutalize me at your gym.
I was a little bit early, so I decided while I was getting my pumpkin spice latte, you know those times whenever like you've gone through your rotated like podcasts and music and whatever, and you're just like, what should I listen to? I've been trying to save up all of my reading for this weekend because we're gonna be doing a lot of it, and I wanted to like build up like a really like big excitement for it, and like almost like a craving. Like I haven't read a book in a week, which I know for some people is like, I don't know, like a common amount of time to not read a book, but I haven't read a book in a week and I'm like craving it. So I went ahead and downloaded Heartless onto my phone for Audible, and I've been listening to it, and I'm so excited to read Heartless. Like I feel like this is gonna be my favorite Chestnut Springs book. I guess I should update you guys. I did read Flawless, and that was my first ever cowboy romance. I was obsessed with it. So that's definitely gonna be one of the books that I read this weekend in my readathon, but I couldn't help but start it already because I've just been so excited to read it. I'm gonna go into Target now. I got my first pumpkin spice latte of the season. Oh, look at her. I usually get pumpkin cold foam cold brew. I don't know. I like to get one of these this season because like one cold one and then a couple hot ones. Okay, I'm gonna go into Target, grab some things, and then I'm gonna pick up JC. I think she's gonna be here in an hour. There she is. Guys, we made it to the Airbnb. It is literally so cute. Let me show you. So it's kind of in this like industrial type building. This is what it's called if you guys want to look it up, in Asheville. It's just literally the cutest thing. Like, we didn't mean to go this hard on the vibes. We really did not. I mean, I don't know if we knew what we were getting ourselves into with this. Because this is the thing, it looks it looks exactly like the
the photos
like the photos really do. I feel like we're touring for our like future home right now.
We're actually house hunting together.
No, JC, the way that this lighting even like,
yeah,
like that's actually crazy. Like it's perfect. Oh my gosh. Okay. Then the bathroom, it just keeps getting cuter. Like these mirrors, I'm sorry. This is the master. This is, I guess you could also work in here. The main kicker is the living room. Like this is crazy.
It is.
And then we have a hot tub, which I forgot about until just recently. So I'm gonna have to wing it. And then they have this cute little, there's the creek down here. JC, the creek will be so nice to read by.
Yes, and like just the flow of the water, like just hearing it.
So nice. Oh, we're about to have a time.
Yeah.
We're about to have a time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. Here's the deal, guys. We're about to start a readathon. So we basically took pictures of our physical TBR and said, what's one on here that you read that you loved?
Yep.
And
you need to read during this readathon.
Yeah. So that's what we did. So you can go first.
Okay. She saw my entire physical TBR. Well, a lot of it. The one that was easily accessible.
There's at least 20, and I was like,
yet she still chose the one in the far back on the bottom. And I'm like, no, I love that. Thank you so much. And that is Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller.
Yeah.
That's a
Queen.
crazy last name.
Absolutely.
Anyways, I think I got this like secondhand because I'd seen a few people like love it, and that's enough for me. I'm so easily influenced. Like if I see someone do a small little blurb on it and they loved it, that passion sells me.
Done.
So I bought it, and I remember liking it whenever I read the back a long time ago, but I don't remember it, and I want to just kind of go into it blind. So I'm excited to read this one. Are you doing predictions?
Yeah, we can do predictions.
I think I'm gonna give this 4.25, and so I feel like it is pretty fast paced, and I feel like I'm just gonna like be sitting here reading it. So I feel like it has a shot to be like really good.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for you for that one.
Well,
I was like,
because you're like,
I know,
please read it.
I
Please
know.
choose the bottom book on your pile.
when it comes to that book, it's just like I just had such a good time reading it. Part of it's because I was on a cruise when I was reading it, so I would literally like be on.
Like, I'm actually a pirate.
I am literally a pirate. That's a
Yeah.
whole other thing. I just love that book, and I think part of it was the vibes that I put along with it. But good vibe. We have a crate to read by, so I mean,
Yeah,
like
it's
same
the
thing.
same
It's literally the same thing. I'm reading The Summer Will Be Different. JC has read this book and loved it, and I think that this is just like from what we've talked about, it just seems like a really good summer book.
Yes.
And I'm excited to get into this. This is, I talked about this on my TikTok that I just made, but like this is my last summer read of the season. Like all of the romance books I want to get to, I'm getting to this weekend, so that
You're a big fall girl.
I'm a big fall girly. Like,
Actually, I'm
reading-
only reading this because JC's
I'm
here.
literally only reading this because Jason's with me. Otherwise, it would have been fall 2 weeks.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I'm excited because I really do like summer reads. I've gotten more into it, like especially this year. So I'm excited to read this. I'm also reading a couple other romances. So watch JC's vlog if you want to see
Yes.
everything that we read.
Yes, my channel will be the full 24-hour readathon, but your video is like focusing on these two books that we've chosen for each other.
Yeah.
I think this is perfect. Anyone that does a readathon, this book is perfect. I only gave it 4.25, so it wasn't this 5-star read for me that I was like, oh my god, I'm obsessed, you have to read this. But it's just like, the vibes were good, it wasn't that deep, not that serious, but like the pacing's good, and like, I fear that our main female character, Felix, is the guy that I would go for. I fear he would be. Good or bad? I
Oh
think
no,
he
it's
would be.
bad.
It's not bad, but you'll read it like, what?
Oh, okay, you're reading. I'll be reading it. I'll be like,
unfortunately,
JC,
actually.
we both like the bad boys, so
Yeah, and like the guys just like don't make sense. Like, girl, what? Like that's not the easy option.
I love that you're like that though, because I have so many people in my life that like I'll talk about the villains. I'll be like, ooh, and they're like, what?
Like that's toxic. I'm like, yeah, I
I'm
know.
like, yes, correct. That's
And?
yeah. So, anyways, that's what we're up to.
Yes.
That's what we're starting. Why don't we're gonna start with these? I think maybe this will be like our second, maybe
Yeah, I think I'm gonna start with the X Vows,
Mhm.
and you're starting.
with Heartless.
Yeah, because you're like already started it.
Yes, but we'll come back to you guys once we are on these
Yeah.
and kind of give our thoughts throughout.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. Okay, let's get started. We've been reading now for 13 hours now.
Yeah.
13 because we've been reading today for an hour. We couldn't talk to the vlog yet. No, we needed some
No.
coffee. Well, I did. We're going to get a coffee shop.
Well, I wanted to finish my book. I feel like that was my focus. I had like 1 hour left to finish it. And I was like, no, like please just let me finish this, and then I
Yep.
can do whatever.
Yep, so now we're like full speed ahead, ready to start for the day. So I am about 50 pages into This Summer Will Be Different. So honestly, number one, gotta say I love the setting.
Yeah.
Because it's Prince Edward. Why do I keep reading Canadian books? Like last book was Canadian, I was so shocked by it, and this one I thought was gonna be like, maybe Maine? But I guess it's close to Maine.
I mean, I feel like it gives a very similar like vibe to a lot of those settings of like those small like I
Small
wouldn't say
coastal
coastal, it's
town.
like island.
Mm-hmm. Because Happy Place is like the island, but it's like the Maine island vibes.
Yes.
Like it's
And that's
kind of
the vibe
different.
of it.
Normally I can guess like the really, I don't know, like the plot twists and stuff.
Yeah.
Especially ones that are like gonna carry the plot forward, but like I just didn't even think about it, and then I was like, oh shoot. So
Right.
yeah, love it so far. 50 pages in. I've been listening to this on Audible and reading it. I've kind of been going in between, so I'll probably do that all day.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like when I remember getting into it, I was like, again, I gave it 4.25. So it wasn't this like 5-star, like, oh my god, I'm obsessed. But like there was
It's just, like,
something
good.
like about Felix.
Oh yeah,
Like he grew on me, I will say that. Like in the beginning I was like, oh, like okay, like I kind of like him, but like
Yeah.
like I grew to really adore him the more like we see of him, because like at this point you don't see much of him.
yeah, you don't see much of him.
And, like he doesn't express a whole lot because like men, you know.
Yeah.
But like
I was kind of shocked in the beginning. He was very forward. They
he
were
was
just,
so
they were just like at
before
the
he
shop. Yeah, he was just like at the shop and he's like, yeah, you're coming home with me. And I was like, whoa.
Like, this is all the prologue. It's nuts.
It's crazy.
I'm glad that, like, I don't know, it's starting off strong for you. I would say that it definitely grew on me. And then there's just like little things I feel like that can happen. This was my first Carly Fortune book.
This is my first too.
So I feel like this is a good place to start, because I feel like with Meet Me at the Lake and Every Summer After, like, there's a lot of hit or miss for people. I am officially gonna start Daughter of the Pirate King. I'm actually really excited. So I just finished like The North Wind, and yes, like, it's fantasy, but this is such a different fantasy. So I'm like, okay, no, like, I think I'm in the mood for the fantasy right now. So I feel like this, like you said, is like short, sweet kind of thing. Well, maybe not sweet, but like, it's short.
No, it's sweet. I would say it gives me the same vibes after I watch Pirates of the Caribbean, where I'm just like, like, it's just like a good fantasy where you're just like, wow, like classic. Yeah, like, I just love it.
I'm so excited. I feel like I'm gonna knock this out.
We're gonna go to, I think, a coffee shop.
Yes.
We're gonna get some coffee, get a pastry, and get cracking on these. Where's its mama?
Yeah. No, that's
Oh, I like this. Cute.
fall. Like,
I know. I can't help myself.
No, like, I
literally
love it.
can't help myself. Guys, we finished the books. Go watch, first of all, go watch JC's vlog, What Are You Doing, if you haven't already. Because that's like the full picture of like everything that we read.
everything we went through.
Everything we went through this 24-hour readathon. Yeah. We started reading these yesterday morning. The next morning, we're about to go book shopping for the day. So we want to give you guys like our final thoughts on these. Do you want to go first?
Okay, so if I recall, I predicted this to be a 4.25, and that's exactly what I'm giving it. So spot on.
Spot on, perfect.
Spot on. I will say, like, I went into it pretty blind. I was like, okay, I don't know. Like, you made like a couple comments of like, oh, it's kind of giving this vibe, but like, I didn't know the plot. It was so good. And like, I feel like pretty quickly you just like get into the vibes of it. You get into like the two main characters. You're like, oh, like, okay, like I see the vision pretty quickly, and you get kind of like hooked on them pretty quickly. And like our main female character is just so like fun. Like,
what I love,
a good time.
I love about her too is that, and you'll see this with a character in Throne of Glass whenever you get to it. I'm so excited for her to read Throne of Glass. But I love whenever women in books are like super feminine but also very badass, because I feel like sometimes you sacrifice one for the other, and I like how she's like, oh, I'm obsessed with my dresses, but also I can kick your ass. Yeah, I love that, because I think it's like the dichotomy.
Because she's a princess.
Yeah,
like she's literally the daughter of the pirate
king.
So like she has that princess quality, because I feel like there was some comment in there where she's like, I'm a lady, and he's like, no, you're not. And she's like, no, but like I am. So like bring me those dresses, thank you. Yeah. And like I love that, because then it's very like clear, like she can just take down anyone she wants. And like it was cool kind of seeing her like hold back, and then when she was able to just like unleash herself, I'm like, yes, queen. Loved it. Yes, queen. Yeah. So it was so good, and now I know based on the ending. At first I was grouchy at the ending until I realized like, okay, no, like Daughter of the Siren Queen is like the continuation I need for it. So I'm like, I got less grouchy. I feel like if I would have tried to rate this immediately, it would have been like 3.75 because I'm mad. And I'm like, okay, no, like I was able to sit on it and like decompress. I thought I was getting more closure at the end, and then I didn't.
To be completely fair, I thought that there was more closure, because I remember reading it, because I read the first one. I read them both on a cruise, like naturally, as one does.
Slay.
And like on 2 separate cruises.
Wait, I didn't know that.
So yeah, the first one I read like January like 2023, and then I read the next one like later that year.
So she was literally a pirate reading this.
I was lit. That's why I think I gave it 5 stars, because like honestly, if I read it again now, and if I read it like in somewhere different, I don't think I would give it 5 stars. But it was like the fact that I read it on a cruise ship, like waves are crashing, and like I'm like, yo
I
ho,
could
like
literally be a pirate.
It was like Pirate Day on the Disney cruise, and I'm reading Daughter of a Pirate King. I'm like, how much better does that get? Not much better. So yeah, I'm really glad you liked it.
I really like it, and I definitely want to continue. I'm gonna see if I find the first book like out today, like I'll totally just buy it.
I always recommend that for people who are like starting into fantasy. Do you stick with that?
I would say it's a very, because it's not like this major like world building experience. Like you're literally like in our world.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not like words you don't understand, like none of that. But
it's not like huge world building, and it's like very, very quick. Like
very quick, easy to get into, and I feel like the plot like made sense, and then I'm excited to see the continuation. Like based on how this ended, I was like, oh no, like I want to see the next adventure.
Yeah.
So I loved it. I'm glad you did make me read it, because I feel like it would have been a while probably before I picked it up on my own.
Because it's one of those that you just don't think like
I'm like I'll probably enjoy it, but like I don't know
when you would read it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Kind of similar for this one. I would say I literally said 4 stars. I slept on it, and so now I think it's 4.25. Like I
mean that's what I gave it.
Yeah.
And I feel like we probably have similar reasons.
Yeah, because okay, look, I thought that this was like so cutesy and fun. Yes. I think I was kind of on the high of like the Chestnut Springs, and it's not like worse or better, it's just completely
it's so different. Yep.
And this is more like emotional romantic, and like not as much like it, like there is spice, but it's like very minimal and very like
it's not the forefront of it.
No, it's like very respectable, I would say. A respectable amount.
No, like it is. No, like it is. Like those moments between them are like these stolen moments.
Yes. And like, you know how One Dark Window, like it has spice, but it's like very like, it's not like in depth.
Yeah.
That's kind of how this is, where it's like, it's
you get
described, but not like.
But it's not like this whole chapter that you're reading.
No, and Chestnut Springs, it was literally like, this is like the whole 3 chapters are all about like one scene, and I was like, whoa. So this was just different.
Yo, that's wild.
I was riding off that high.
Yeah.
So then this one, I really, I loved it. Like it was very emotional, romantic. Their love felt very realistic, I would say.
Yes, that's why I'm like, no, like I fear I would fall for the guy like Felix.
Yeah.
And then it'd be like, well, like babes, it's not like he lives in your town. Like you kind of have to work for that, and like you met him kind of once. And like what about it? And I'm like, I can't explain.
But I'm drawn to him. I would move there. Yeah. Like I would move there way quicker than she did. This also takes place in Prince Edward Island, which I think I said in the beginning of this.
Yeah.
And like immediately the vibes were like, because I think it gives the same vibes as like Maine or like Nova Scotia, like those kind of areas where it's like very coastal East Coast, northern East Coast, I guess.
Yeah.
I just like really enjoyed the vibes. I loved the romance. We both did not like Bridget. We were.
If you watched my face drop, you'll love seeing that. Like if you, I don't know if I read it in like a weekly vlog or like what I read this in, but I definitely like talked in depth about it, and I was just like, Bridget made me so upset.
She's so irritating.
Oh, it was a book club pick for me, and
she's such a bad friend.
Yep. I'm like, no, I talk spoilers. It's because I talk spoilers on my Patreon, because I usually try to avoid it on like main YouTube. Yeah, she's just a bad friend.
She's like a really bad friend, and I think that did take away from the experience, because I was expecting like the whole time you're kind of like waiting for this build-up moment where it's like, okay, what is her friend hiding to keep her from like.
It says on the back, like the whole point is like in present time, her best friend Bridget's getting married, and like the week before the wedding, she just like flies home to Prince Edward Island. Like
she's like, hey, like come now.
I need you.
And I was thinking, won't tell her why, and like the whole time I'm thinking like she's got to be dying or something, like something crazy.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, I guess this is a mini spoiler, but it wasn't anything as crazy as I thought. I would say it's an important
thing to say. Like it's not that, because I feel like it's not a sad book.
It's not a sad book. It's not like as serious as I was initially thinking it was. Yeah. So I really loved it. Bridget was the only thing that took points off for me, because she was just actually so irritating. Yeah. And like if it was basically meant for her to be like
a bad, it was like, it didn't feel like that was the intentional thing.
No, it felt like she just was like annoying.
Reason why was like dumb to me.
Yeah.
Like of why, like I get like the initial hesitancy of like why she didn't want to share, but like they were there for several days, and like Lucy sacrificed so much to be there. Like she's literally the flower person, because Lucy owns a flower shop, like for Bridget's wedding that's happening in a week, and Lucy's like, I gotta like do my job, like, and you won't tell me why like I'm being flown out here a week before your wedding.
No, I didn't love that.
It was not
cute.
I
also just didn't like, I think also with Felix, like I love that man so much. Like I loved Felix. He was phenomenal love interest. I think the only thing for me, again, you have to understand, I'm riding off the high of like Chestnut Springs, and I love a good trope where it's like he literally hates everyone but her. He's obsessed with her. He never like he needs to be with her all the time. Like in this book, it was like he was obviously like he's in love with her. Yeah. But I didn't see like the toxic obsession, which is good. Like just to be clear, like that is preferable in real life. So that's why this felt more realistic. Just like okay, that was like healthy, you know. I'm just like not for me, but like I love a good like toxic man.
They have these stolen moments every summer and Bridget doesn't know. And so it's like you guys. Yeah. But like no, like he's just like a respectful man.
He's just respectful. This is literally
and like the eye contact across the room because they can't say anything because obviously Bridget's right there, so they can't just be like all up on each other. And I'm like
this was literally my exact issue with Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez is because he was so sweet. He was so nice. Did you read that?
Like no, he's actually
like,
perfect.
So sweet. But like
I'm sorry, like post-date like questionnaire? Are you joking?
No. And
I
like,
love him.
No, that's the thing. He was too nice for me. Like as I was reading it, I was like, I would actually barf if a guy did this for me. Like if a guy, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, I think I'd be weirded out by it from like a fictional standpoint. I'm like, oh, Justin, you're so precious.
No, even from a fictional standpoint, I was like, like you're too sweetsy. Like I need you to be a little bit mean to me, just a little bit. I don't know what's wrong with me.
And you're happily married, so I love that for you.
No, yeah, but like he made me work for it a little bit, and I made him work for it. You know, it's like a little bit of a challenge I need. And I told you that the other day. I was like, I can't have a guy that's just gonna be like, hey, like here's my questionnaire after our date to make sure you had the best time. I'm like, ew. Like,
I guess that for me is also different in that one because like the whole point of them is like for that I'm like we're not even talking about it.
We're not even talking about it.
But like the whole point of that book was like they're not dating to date. Yeah. They're like dating to break up.
Yeah,
so
that's
like,
true.
I feel like it was just like fun.
Yeah.
In my brain.
Yeah, like
they're really dating to break up.
Well, I guess moral of the story, there's something wrong with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit because so nice, so sweet. Like so sweet, so kind, like so
in love.
And like look, there's a mama bear right there. Holy shit.
We saw a cub earlier and now we see the bear. The mama bear.
The way that my heart just dropped in my stomach. We're gonna go inside now. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. We don't want to get eaten by a bear, so we're gonna go inside, but we've had the best weekend at this cabin nonetheless.
I'll go, where'd it go?
My heart is literally in my stomach.
Do you have an outro?
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Watch JC's video.
Oh, that's actually your outro every time.
Every time we end a clip, I'm like, go. Yeah. Bye.